Good day everyone, I am Kisha Althea Taban and thank you so much for visiting our video. Today I will be discussing about justice as equality. So first let us define equality. What is equality? Equality is the condition of being equal, particularly in terms of status, rights, and opportunities. It also refers to every individual's right to equal treatment and opportunities regardless of their gender, race, or social status. Equality does not simply mean treating everyone equally. It entails identifying and addressing the various barriers to the equal potential for various groups of people. It is also the belief that no one should have a lesser opportunity in life because of how they were born, where they came from, what they believe, or whether they have a disability. It is about treating people in such a way that the outcome is the same for everyone. This entails putting measures in place to help people achieve similar results. Equality of outcome can be done by ensuring that everyone has access to resources and decision making, as well as being recognized, valued, and respected. When support is not provided, people from marginalized groups do not feel or know that they can attend a group, even if a mission statement states that it is open to all. So we have in here statements from American or Black American women living in a marginalized community. They say, equality is freedom. If there is peace, equality will follow. We will be free. Our children will be able to go to school. They will work in the future and things will improve. Equality is love. When you love someone, you want the same thing for them that you want for yourself, and even more. Equality is love, and equality is sharing. Religious perspective towards equality. So equality in Islam, we have in here a statement from Quran, states that man and women are equal because they are created from the same source and created at the same time by the same God. They have the same parents, and so they are brothers and sisters. This statement comes from Quran. Let us proceed. Men and women are equally responsible for all the instructions given in the Quran. And we can see this in chapter 33. Here we can see or ponder that Islam or Muslim people practices equality, that they value both men and women, and that they are given the same responsibilities by the same God. So we also have in here equality in Christianity. It states that other Christians believe that men and women are both made in the image of God and should be treated equally. They should share responsibilities and privileges. Many Catholics believe that husband and wives should respect each other's role within a marriage and value both equally. And so all of us, as we all know that all of us are made in the image of God. And so every one of us are equal. Men and women are treated or should be treated the same way, despite having different roles within a marriage or within a community. Both should respect each other and value each other equally. So let us proceed with the types of equality. We have freedom, which is the right to life. Every one of us, babies, fetus, even people with disabilities, older people, people with disease, they all have the right to life. So we should value everyone's life because life is precious. Second one is welfare, which is to protect the interest of poor people or affirmative action. So welfare, this goes with helping um, the poor people or the unprivileged ones. So for example, um, there are big companies, rich people um, donating in charities that helps the poor people. This is also a type of equality wherein privileged ones provide for those who are not so that they will um, be able to survive. We also have in here resources or for the country's wealth. So there should be equality in resources. There should be equality in accessing the country's wealth. So if we live in the same country, there should be the same access. Those who are privileged should still undergo the same process as what those poor people are having. Let's say, for example, in a certain daily scenarios, such as like falling in line for, let's say, a grocery. So, even if you're rich or poor, you still have to be in that line. Rich people doesn't have any card that lets them pass because they are rich. It shouldn't be like that. Everyone should have um, equal rights. So, proceeding with political, the last one, which is freedom of speech, expression, and association. Here in the Philippines, a democratic country, we have the freedom to speak out our opinion and our thoughts. That is why we have media, social media, um, other types of platforms that we can use to speak out, to give out what we think of. Because every idea, every thought that a person has, despite their gender, their race, their social status, it all matters. Every one of us matters. That's why we have the freedom of speech. So that is all for my part. We will now proceed with the next reporter. Thank you so much.
Good day, everyone. I am Jadinia Marisi Tundag, and today I'll continue the discussion about justice as equality. So, justice has to do with the belief that all people should have equal rights and opportunity. So, basically, justice promotes fairness and equity across many aspects of society. There are four types of equality. First one is freedom, which is a right to life or movement. Freedom is very important because it grants humans their basic right to express their opinion and to speak freely about any matter without government restraint. So, freedom is very important because it allows for change in a society and the exchange of ideas. And the next one is welfare. It protects interest of poor people or affirmative action. So basically, welfare concerns the collective well-being of members of a society and the social responsibility for its ongoing improvement. And welfare is very essential to individual because it is committed to provide the basic economic security for its citizens by protecting them from. The next one is resources, which means country's wealth. It means that wealth should be enjoyed equally by all. It also implies abolition of poverty, wherein the basic minimum of an individual should be fulfilled. So, if the primary needs of an individual are not fulfilled, there cannot be real democracy. So, the accumulation of wealth has been considered to be a vice in recent times. Poverty amelioration programs have been launched in some countries to bring the poor above poverty line. Lastly is political, wherein freedom of speech, expression, and association. So, political equality implies that all citizens should have political rights and should have equal access to all offices of authority. So, it means universal adult suffrage. It also implies rights to form political parties and contest in election. So, these rights are necessary in a democratic society. And moving on to the aim of justice. So, there are several aim of justice, and these are: all people should be treated equally unless there is some significant differences between their cases. Next one is, thus justice and equality requires rules to set out how classes of people should be treated. Next is, all murderers will be hung. And lastly, insane adult can plead the difference or the defense rather of unsoundness of mind in criminal case. So the purpose of justice is to provide fair treatment to each individual without any exception in regards to their personal rights according to the laws of the land of their residence or in other countries where the individual's country is represented in a consulate. And that would be all about my topic, and I hope you learned something from me. Thank you.
All people should treat it equally. As a human, we have what we call rights, which means a belief that everybody should be treated equally and with dignity no matter what their circumstances, which means nobody should be tortured or treated in an inhumane or degrading way. The next one is to ensure equality. The doctrine of stare decisis is followed in the courtroom. Stare decisis is a legal doctrine that allows a court to base its final decision on precedents established in similar cases. In other words, it instructs a court of law on how to proceed with a case that is similar to a previous one. The term is derived from a Latin phrase that means to stand by things decided or let the decision stand. The purpose of stare decisis, it helps to ensure uniform justice and continuity in court decisions. It helps both judges and attorneys in the process of consistent applications of the law. It ensures the legal system's stability, integrity, and predictability. For example, it says that blue borrows Red's lawnmower. While Red is on vacation, Blue doesn't ask Red for permissions. Blue accidentally breaks Red's lawnmower, but he doesn't tell Red. He simply places the lawnmower back in Red's garage. When Red returns home and discovers the broken lawnmower, he demands that Blue buy him a new one. The two end up in a court, and the court decides that Blue does owe Red the money required for Red to fix his lawnmower. However, Blue doesn't have to buy Red a new lawnmower. This decision becomes precedent. From now on, lower courts in the same jurisdiction are expected to follow this new law. Justice and equality require rules, setting out how categories or classes of people should be treated. For example, you have a child, and the company that you work on
have the equality rule. So this rule acknowledges that your job is likely to involve confrontations with management, confrontation that could lead to discipline under the normal rules of employer to employee. Article 8 Federal Constitutions. All are equal before the law and entitled to equal protections. No discrimination against citizens on the grounds of race, religion, gender, place of birth, and etc. That does mean no matter who you are, you have the rights. And not just a rights, but an equal rights. Everybody has the right to protection from all forms of violence caused by reasons of the race, color, language, sex, religion, political, national, or social origin, property, birth, or another status. Think of justice as equality. Justice is equal treatment. Everyone should be treated equally. What does this mean? This means all people be treated equally. Race, religion, sex, age, and other petty differences should not matter. People in general are equal, but hold different statuses in life. Equal does not mean that we're all the same. Each of us is different in our own special way, but we also have the common qualities that make us all humans. So each of us should be treated with respect and dignity and treat others in the same way. No person should be discriminated against their sexual and reproductive lives. Think of the aspects of their lives that certain people groups are being told to change, and realize that people are born a certain way. You can't change from black to white or white to black. You can't change a true Christian into an atheist or a true atheist into Christian. You can't force a gay individual to be straight or a straight individual to be gay. We should love each other and treat each other the same, regardless of such trivial differences. If a special needs child is placed in a separate class, is the child being treated equally? Actually, the special needs children are treated equally in a way that the government look for them and for their safety also. The only reason for them to separate from those other children is that they may face a lot of discrimination in a normal school. They get bullied, they have difficulty in socializing, they create distraction among other students, and also they have a source of anger. That is why it is important to get a good feeling at school for the kids with special needs. Most of the parents of the special needs kids prefer their children with special education as it redresses their individual differences and needs.